And today I've got a very adorable, one of my favorite couples. They're known as Humraha on TikTok. So you may have seen them there as well as on Instagram. Today we're going to be talking about what it's like to work with your significant other and keys to success for that, as well as the challenges of that, tips for that. So let's first off start with a little introduction.
My name is Hamza. I'm 29.
My name is Humraha. I'm 24.
And together we're
Humraha.
You really aren't that much younger than me, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
I'll be 30 this year, so it's gonna be a big one.
It's okay. No, I'm still gonna be like y'all's mom. It's fine. I've decided y'all are my babies. It's like it is what it is from now on. I love these guys. So tell me a little bit about you guys as well as your company.
Yeah, so we started humrahagifts.com as sort of a one-stop shop for Muslims to find their gift-giving needs all in one place. Previously in the past, we've been big advocates for personalized gift giving or really thoughtful gift giving. And being Muslims with unique names, it's really hard to find gifts for others that are personalized with their name, with your cultural touch to those gifts. And we saw a gap in the marketplace for that, and we wanted to create a solution for it. So we created Humraha Gifts.
So what happened was it was actually our first Eid after getting married, and we once you get married, you have to get gifts for everyone and families, community members, and everything. And we literally just didn't want to get something that they would just put in their closets or have it be something that would just be put away and not used every day. So we just that Eid, we made these sweatshirts, we made little shadow box gifts, and everybody absolutely loved them because it was something that they had never seen at Walmart or TJ Maxx or anywhere, and from that we just went and
Maybe
we
started
shared it
expanding
with the community. We shared it online and on our TikTok.
And now we're seeing people in our own community who we don't know, who they don't know us personally at least, and we're seeing them wearing our merch. We're seeing them use our mugs, using our stickers, different items. It's really cool to see it in person in our own community. So it's just amazing to think that it's happening across the globe as well.
It's the most surreal feeling to see, I know, because when I created my book and to see it in the hands of little kids, it's unlike any feeling. And I can say that you guys, well, the way that you and I connected is that you guys had created a shadow box for our family. It's front and center in my room, in my living room. So it's right there. I then got one for my brother. My brother then got one for his friend. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be getting one for every single person that I know that gets married because they're so beautiful and it's so thoughtful. So I think you guys have something very interesting on your hands. And so one of my questions to you guys is, do you guys handcraft all of your products or do you have people who are making them at this point? Talk to me about what that looks like.
Yeah, it's all handmade, made to order, especially made for the customer at the time of their order. So it's really special and unique in that regard. And you can customize your order with your wedding date, engagement date, anniversaries. You can choose your own photos, and we have our artists digitally recreate them. One additional touch we decided to do was remove the eyes from a lot of the illustrations. It not only looks nice, it also is Islamically appropriate. A lot of people don't like to hang pictures in their homes, at least ones with eyes in them, so that kind of adheres to that religious belief there.
And our artists don't like to draw them either because that's also technically not allowed. So
yeah, I remember just trying to abide by that whenever I was a kid and leaving the eyes out. And I do have pictures in my home, but it helped because when I was turning photos around for Ramadan, I was like, no, I can keep this one because the eyes were removed. So it's a very thoughtful touch, and it's something that Muslims will understand. And so you guys really did find the perfect niche because it's hard to explain to other cultures that are not immersed in those rulings. But what's even more baffling to me is how you guys manage to do this when, Hamza, I know you're working full time in marketing, and then Raha, you are in med school currently, correct? So most people in med school don't even have time to like breathe, let alone be a whole wife and run a business and TikTok. So tell me how you guys are managing that.
Yeah, we it's easy when you stop sleeping and cut out social life and all that, then you can manage it, but it's
It's
been a
not
real
true.
struggle. Yeah.
It's been a struggle, but also like working together and like knowing what each of our talents is. Like Hamza will work on the things that he's good at, like website management and all of the marketing, all the logistical stuff that goes into a business. And then when I have like my free time,
Hello, Kitty. Is this Chipotle?
no, this is Panera.
Panera. Okay. Hi, Panera. You can be in the Zoom too, Kitty. No,
She
but it's
actually always like loves to interrupt Hamza like during work meetings too. She'll
oh,
be
my
like,
cats too. My cats too. And you'll always hear like my goat going off in the background, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, that's my pet goat. And they're like, what? So
Other animals, yeah.
he's so excited to like meet your donkey, or not your donkey, your kangaroo
Kangaroo.
one day.
oh yes, yes, you guys still need to come down for that. But what I wanted to say was that I'm really impressed with how you guys can recognize each other's like skill sets and talent and delegate as thus.
Yeah.
When my husband and I first got married, we also started a company. It was called Bumble Brain Box, which we sold. Um, after a year of running it was because well, he's very technical and he's very like analytical, and I'm very much an emotional like creative, and so it's like definitely like opposites attract situation in our house. So he did all of like the operations, like the logistics, the websites, the shipping, and I did everything like sales and like product development and customer service. So we were able to kind of do that as well. But I'm going to be honest, we didn't like working together because we felt like it was taking the fun out of our marriage and relationship. But I know that my parents, I have on the opposite end of the spectrum, my parents have worked together for the last like 30 something years and they love it. So talk to me about your experience of working together.
So, I would say that no life is perfect, first of all. Like we obviously like have our days where we're just like not agreeing on something and we're just like, okay, we're just gonna talk about this later instead of like getting heated and like letting that ruin the entire day. We'll just like put this in like a little box and just worry about it later. Which honestly then we realized, okay, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe I was like trying to make it too much, or like Kamzo was doing the same. But really it's just a lot of like also trusting each other and like respecting each other's like boundaries, I'd say. Like when Hamza is saying that this is like this is better for this target audience or something, like because he knows the marketing part of it. I need to like make sure that I know that I I respect his like knowledge and like trust that he knows what he's doing. And then like the same thing goes for the other way around when I'm like, that really just doesn't look good. Cause I'm like the creative person in our, like I do all the designing, I do all of that stuff. And when that really does not look good, Hamza sometimes has issues like accepting that, but
I'm a little bit stubborn, but I do recognize. Oops, I'm a little bit stubborn, but I do
I love it.
recognize. Yeah, I do recognize that we each have our own strengths, and we have to respect that. And that's what we've learned over the last 4 years.
Mhm.
Actually, well, last 2 years doing business together at least.
Yeah.
And
Same thing goes for marriage too,
yeah,
I'd say. Like whatever as like principles we I guess we follow in our business, we try to also follow that like in our marriage and whenever we're working together in the house and stuff like that too.
yeah. Sometimes it means just accepting her decision on something creatively, even though I disagree with it completely. I go with it. I trust her instinct. We run with it, and it ends up being the right move. And it just goes to show that if you just put some trust in your partner, then things will work out in the end smoothly.
That's actually fantastic advice. And I think that the same goes from like a parenting perspective, like in the sense that this company is y'all's baby, you know? And so I think a lot of the things and the give and the take, the teamwork, all of that will apply in that next chapter of y'all's lives as well. And so I think it's actually really, I love when I see like couples do side hustles together. I think side hustles themselves are really, really interesting because I've always, like for me, social media has always been a side hustle. And then now it's like my full-time hustle. So I wanted to ask if you guys could see yourself ever doing this full time, or like, I know, you know, med school is like a very intense thing to go through. So is it always something that you really intend to be on the side as you pursue medicine first and foremost?
So I'd say like for me, medicine is always going to be like my main thing. But I know Hamza's like always been super passionate about business, and like he's run multiple other businesses in the past that have been his full time thing. So I think once Humraha grows to a point where like it's super big and like I don't know. You
Yeah,
answer that.
it would really depend on a lot of factors. Right now, I work at a big company doing marketing. I'm learning so much every single day, and I literally love my job. I love the people I work with. I love the company culture and the environment, which is not something typical that a lot of entrepreneurs would find themselves saying. I've always been open to the idea of working for someone else, even while I was working for myself in you know, from 2017 to 2020. I was working for myself the entire time, and I've never had a problem working for someone else. It's not like I crave being an influencer or the independence of, you know, being my own boss. I don't crave any of that. I crave more of like a learning culture where I'm constantly in an environment where I'm learning from others, learning about marketing, learning about business. That's my real passion. So whether I find that in influencing or in my career doing marketing, um, as long as I am learning, I'm happy.
That's incredible. That's very humbling to hear, Hamza, because a lot of people are so tied up in the title. Oh, I
Yeah.
want to be CEO. I want to be an influencer, that they forget to be a student and to approach everything from that humble student standpoint. I think I just learned something, honestly, like to always stay like in that mindset. You know, for me, I've had my own business since 2013, and I recently sold my schools, and I thought like, okay, I'm going to be a full-time creative for right now, but you know, with like, you could lose your platform overnight. It could, you know, anything could happen to your accounts. You could stagnate, whatever. So I had to think like, if I had to work for someone, would I mind? And I think part of it's like, no, like I'm just going to go with the journey. It's like not about the title. It's not about like the awards and accolades. It's not about any of that. It's just enjoy your life, be happy, learn, continue to grow creatively, feed yourself and challenge yourself. Don't stagnate and just proceed that way. So I'm very much on board with that mindset as well. And I know that you guys are not only just doing a company together, but a entire TikTok together. So tell me about what that journey has looked like in creating a couples page.
Yeah, so we actually started it when we first started Humraha, like the business. We were originally just making like arts and crafts, or like, or not arts and crafts, like the shadow boxes on TikTok, and just showing the process of that. And that's what like kind of went viral at first. But then what we noticed like was people really wanted to see like the behind the scenes, or like the people that are behind the business more than the items. So we it was definitely like a huge learning curve. I know meeting you definitely like
Yeah.
gave us like a huge boost. I'm like, she's such a cool person. She's such a like I felt like you were so humble, and like I just like loved everything about you. So I was like, I know I like, and you said like you believed in me, and it was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, we met with you in our hometown, Columbus, and at that time we were a small channel. We only had like 10,000 followers or something, and you still saw all of our potential. Meanwhile, you were at like over 500,000 followers on TikTok, and
You guys are
like,
gonna hit 100K by the end of Ramadan. I'm saying it right now. I'm
thank you.
saying it right now. By Eid, inshallah. No, but like honestly, the trajectory you guys are on, I have no, your content has gotten so refined and so good.
It's
And
because
I
it's
can
That is,
Amraha, with you, I've seen your confidence grow on camera.
yeah,
Like,
I agree with that. Yeah.
because I know when I met you, I could sense you're shy, a little bit more shy, and things like that. I've seen your confidence grow tenfold in your videos. You've come into yourself, you've come into the influencer status, and I just think that's like the coolest thing to see from my perspective.
She got that boost of confidence because of what you saw in her.
Okay.
When we first started our TikTok channel, she was so shy. She didn't even want to. She didn't want to be on video, so she didn't want to be in front of the camera. Two, she didn't even want to narrate the video herself, so she would have me narrate the video for her, and that's how we kind of went viral first, because I would narrate in her voice and kind of imitating her, and it's kind of funny. But now she's here like acting and doing skits in front of the camera, like that. Like she's so confident now.
And I like love doing it now too. It's definitely something that I never ever saw myself like doing, because I'm like a super introverted person. Like Hamza's the outgoing, and like he'll talk to anyone. He can talk to anyone about anything, and I'm like more reserved usually. But now like TikTok has allowed me to like really express myself, and I like love we both
Yeah.
love making
The
videos
funny
together.
thing is now, if you look at our TikToks, it looks like I'm the more shy person in the relationship and she's the more outgoing one. But in reality, it's always been the opposite. So she's really like grown because of that.
No, and it's so important because even in medicine, you have to be like the firm, like, this is what the diagnosis is, this is what I recommend. You're really the leader in many ways of the medical team. And so I think this is just can apply to so many different areas. And I'm so proud of both of you. And again, if you guys aren't following them on TikTok already, I'm gonna link everyone's like in the Instagram and TikTok and everything website in the about section of this. But I also wanted to, the last question I had for you guys is I saw that you guys recently did your first live pop-up event. And I wanted to ask how that experience went for you guys.
It was actually so cool.
Yeah.
So we not only like set up our table, we also set up like a little photo shoot session or photo shoot backdrop. That way people could come, take their pictures, and just like kind of make it an experience. So it was definitely like a learning experience on the business side for us, because we it was our first time ever, so we had no idea setup wise. What to expect, what to do. But that
Yeah. I've always attended conventions and trade shows my whole life, just growing up, being surrounded by business, but actually setting one up of your own. There's just so much you learn by actually doing it than by looking at it and seeing it. So what we wanted to do was create more of an experience at our booth than a place to purchase products, because that's kind of what we've always been about. Like the experience behind buying the product is what matters more than the product itself. So we set up like a photo booth where people could take their pictures and meet and greet us. And it was funny because the last few weeks we've actually gotten recognized in person by people that we've never known, and that was so surreal to us. Like, wow, you know us? Like when someone recognized us, we kind of wanted to take a picture with them because they were our first fans. So it was really interesting.
Wait,
there.
I know what you mean. Like every time it still happens for me too. I'm like, what? You know who I am? Like it's very humbling. And it's like, it's just phenomenal to know that your work, your business, your videos, your art is reaching other people. It's just, and I think that's really the power of e-commerce and social media in general, is that we can progress boundaries. We can progress like to the other side of the world. And it's just the craziest experience for us to be living in this day and age.
Yeah, I could talk about the business side of TikTok for days, but the amount of reach and impressions that you get from a TikTok channel versus any other platform out there has always astounded me.
And I think another thing that's like super cool about TikTok and like getting recognized in person is like you see the impact that you're making in the world. Like the people came up to us, they're like, "We love your videos, we love your message," and stuff like that really like kind of encourages us even more. I'd say to keep doing this, keep spreading like the positive message of like love and like togetherness, and just keep making a difference in the world.
And I think And also, it's just so nice to see like a Muslim couple just so in love, because I think a lot of the world, or because of media, has portrayed like, oh, these arranged marriages that people don't even love each other. And, these really, really intense Muslim men who are controlling their wives, and their wives are meek and feeble. And then here we are doing like crazy skits and like laughing and joking. And I think it's very humanizing from that aspect as well too. I remember one time that I had a friend, or she's become almost like a sister now, and she's like from a small town in Oklahoma, and she said, hey, like, you're nothing like the media told me a Muslim woman would be. And for me, that's why I reached out. I was just so intrigued. Everything I'd always been told was not what I was seeing. So I just want to commend you both for doing what you're doing how much you guys are doing, because I know firsthand how much it is. And I wasn't even in med school. So add med school on top, and my respect just grows tenfold for you both. And I wish you guys so, so much success. Is there any final advice that you would give to couples that are thinking or are already in business together?
I'd say this again: trust and respect your partner. Um, there's going to be arguments, there's going to be disagreements in marriage and in business. But when you have that respect, when you have that trust and that ability to communicate, that's what makes all the difference.
Communication's key. There will be mistakes made both in your relationship and business. So anticipate that, prepare for it, and try not to lose your cool or try not to get upset at your partner because of that. That's just an inevitability. So just prepare for that and you'll have like a smoother ride.
And be there for each other.
Yep.
Because that's what marriage is about.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you guys for